Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Okay, so this is Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. So we'll start with 9.11. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. You're able to see the screen, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, it's visible.
Okay. Okay, so we'll Avajananti Mamuda Manishintana Parambhavanjanando Mamuda Maheshwaram. So the ninth, okay, so we'll see the overview. So overview may it is said that first three slokas about Rajavidya, then 4 to 10 is about Krishna's relationship with the material world. So we finished that. 11 to 12 is about impersonalism minimized, and 13 to 19 is about Mahatmas and other 3 kind of worshippers. Demigod worshippers is explained from 20 to 25, and Ananya Bhakti 26 to 34. Okay, so here, so this is another sloka. So here it is said in the 11th sloka, Avajananti Mamuda. Okay. The peoples will deride Krishna when he come in the human form. They do not know his transcendental nature as the supreme lord of all that being. Because Brahma Samhita says Ishvara Parama Krishna, right? He is Sachidananda Vigraha. But fools, they think the Lord as a normal person. So that's one of the reasons why Arjuna wanted Krishna to show the universal form, so that to convince the ordinary people that Krishna is not an ordinary person. So they think when he comes as Lord Ram, as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Krishna, it's like a normal person. That's what they think. Okay, he also walks, he eats, we eat. So Prabhupada has given a very nice big quote here. So you can all read through. It says that, but a devotee sees Krishna as present where, and you know Krishna is Sachidananda Vigraha, right? So we are, what is the principle which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us? What is the principle he gave? We are same with the Lord in what? And different in what?
We are eternal servants.
We are same in quality. Quantity we are different.
So what is that tattva called as?
Achintya Veda
Abheda, right? Veda Abheda, like we qualitatively same with the Lord, qualitatively different with the Lord. Okay, you can raise a digital hand. Example, any analogy? What is the example you remember? I can't hear
Mataji. Mataji, the gold mine and the gold ring. Gold mine is Krishna, and the gold ring is the living entities. And the sea water. Sea is the Krishna, and one drop of the sea water is the living entity.
Yes, sea water is salty, the drop is also salty, but then in quality is same, but in quantity, the sea is vast and then drop is only one. There's one more example. Remember, one is gold mine and gold ornaments. As Mother said, gold mine is also full of gold in quality and the ornaments, but in quantity, ornaments are small, gold mine is big. Ocean and the drop of ocean. Yes, what else, Sridevi Mataji?
Fire and spark of the fire.
Very nice. Fire and spark of the fire, right? So fire also will burn your hand, and spark also will burn. So in quality, both have heat and light. But in quantity, spark is just a small, mameva amsha jiva loge jiva buddha sanandara, just a spark. But Krishna is, means the fire is unlimited, inconceivable, achintya. Similarly, Krishna is unlimited, inconceivable. We are just a spark. But in quality, we are also Sachidananda, we are also eternal. Right. Any other example? Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, sun planet and the sun rays.
That is Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan features. This we are talking about quality and quantitatively. Okay, yes, as you said, that is also there. Sun planet, sunlight, sun planet. That is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan realization is compared to that. Okay, now this we are talking about qualitatively same and quantitatively different, like ocean and the drop of ocean. Both are salty, but in size it's different. Spark and the fire, in size is different, quality is same. And what else? Gold mine and gold. So all like this. Okay, so these are the different examples. Any other example? Okay, yeah. Okay, so here fools deride when Krishna comes in a human form and they don't know the transcendental form of the nature of the Lord, right? Because Krishna, Anaham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavrita, not everyone can understand Krishna. The second, the 12th sloka says, Mogasha Moga Karmano Moga Jnana Vichetashaha Rakshasim Asurim Chaiva Prakritim Mohitam Sritam. Those who are thus bewildered are attacked by demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and the culture of knowledge are all defeated. Okay, so what is then? Those are thus bewildered, are attracted by the demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and the culture of knowledge are all defeated. Those who are bewildered are attracted by demonic atheistic views. Now, sometimes those people who are they get baffled in their hopes for attaining the Lord's abode, that is Salukya Mukti, and they are baffled in their fruitive activities, results of attaining heaven or Swarga, that is karmis. And they do not attain the results of culturing knowledge, which is liberation, and they are deluded by Maya. Because what happens? They are turning away from Krishna. Bahirmug and Bahirmug. Bahirmug means you are just Swamug. You are turning away from Krishna. When you turn away from Krishna, Maya catches us. And they are attracted by demonic and atheistic view, having taken shelter of the illusionary material energy. So they take shelter of Maya. So that is the impersonal view. So in 11 and 12, we talk about that impersonalists. They are also different type of worshippers. But then they're worshipping what? The Brahman actually, no? They want to merge in the Brahman. Mogasha, Moga Karmana, they get bewildered by Maya. So when you turn away from Krishna, then what happens? Maya will capture us. Krishna Buliya, Jiva Bhagavan Jakare, Bhashatiya Maya Tare, Japatiya Tare. When we forget Krishna, then what happens? Maya will definitely catch us. So that's what happens to the Mayavadis. And the next sloka, very important sloka, 13th sloka. Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Devim Prakriti Mashritam Vachanti Ananya Manaso Nyatva Bhudatim Avyayam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, great souls under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personally Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Mahatmanastu Mam Partha. Mahatmas. Who are Mahatmas? Who are the Mahatmas? Or any sloka you remember from Mahatma? Somewhere Krishna says, Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. What was that sloka? Who are Mahatmas? Actually, who are Mahatmas?
Mahatma are elevated soul who have surrendered to Krishna, worship him, carry out devotional service, loving devotional service. They are not attracted by material natures, and they are never distracted from Krishna. They always worship Krishna and see universal form of Krishna always.
Okay, so Priyadashini Mataji.
Vasudevam Sarvamitam Samahatma.
What was the beginning?
Vasudevam Sarvamita.
That is second line. But beginning is what?
Bahunam Janmanamante Gnana.
Bahunam Janmanamante. Good.
Bahunam Janmanamante.
So Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prabhatyade Vasudeva Sarva Iti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Durlabha means rare. Sudurlabha means very rare. Who are the Mahatmas? Bahunam Janmanamante. Bahunam Janmanam Amte. After so many Janmas, Jnanavan Mam Prabhatyade. Somebody who's in knowledge, Jnanavan Mam Prabhatyade. Understand Krishna. Vasudeva Sarva Iti. As Mother said, they know Vasudeva or Krishna is everything and they surrender to Krishna. Some Mahatmas, such Mahatmas are very, very rare. So Srila Prabhupada, all the Acharyas are Mahatmas, right? Because they completely surrender to Krishna. Now those Mahatmas are under Krishna's special care. Devim Prakriti Rashidam. What is the special care called as? Can you put in the chat? In which What is the special Devim Prakritimashitam? What is that Krishna says, like how the great souls are protected by the divine nature? What is that divine nature called as? Though they're not diluted, the great souls are the protection of the divine nature. Means divine nature. What is it? Another name of that divine nature called as? What is it? It's Krishna's energy, but yeah, Yoga Maya. Good. It's a Yoga Maya, right? That's not a material nature. So they're not controlled by the material nature. They're controlled by the Yoga Maya of Krishna, and they worship Krishna. They do devotional service without distraction, knowing Krishna as the cause of everything, inexhaustible, being fully spiritual. They always chant Krishna's glories and endeavor with great determination, bow down to Krishna with great determination and devotion. Thus, that souls definitely will go back to Krishna. So Krishna is explaining more about pure devotees, Ananya Bhakti, and pure devotional service in this sloka, and also in continuous sloka 29-34. All Krishna will explain more about this. Okay, so Mahatmanastu Parta Devim Prakritimashitam. They are under Krishna's Yoga Maya, and Bhajanti Ananya Manaso. They do bhajan or devotional service with Ananya. Ahaituki apradihata. They do pure devotional service. Anya Vilashida Shunya, without any material desires, and they understand Krishna. Okay, so they understand Krishna is original and inexhaustible. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know Krishna is the supreme. So why are we studying Shastras? Why are we doing all these courses? So that we understand the glories of Krishna more and more, and we fix in mind to become fixed. So about Mahatmas, Prabhupada explains, list examples from Srila Prabhupada's life which reflects the quality and behavior listed in. Okay, so can we have a quick discussion? 9.13. Okay, then let's me do 14 also. Is there any instance to prove Srila Prabhupada is Mahatma? And also, Satatam Kirtayendo Mam Yadandasya Drida Vridaha Namasyandasya Mam Bhaktya Nitya Yukta Ubhasade. 9.14, very important sloka says, always chanting the glories, endeavor with great determination. Bowing down in front of me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So that's continuation of the previous sloka. Mahatmas are very rare and they are under the protection of Krishna's Yoga Maya. They do devotional service with Ananya Bhakti. And the next sloka says, Satatam Kirtayandama. Someone asked Vaishnava, like, why you are chanting 16 rounds? Did Krishna say 16 rounds in Bhagavad Gita? Krishna didn't say 16 rounds. He said Satatam. Satatam means always chanting. Can we do 24 hours chanting like Haridas Thakur? No, we go crazy, mad. We can't do it. 2 hours, 16 rounds only. It's a big thing. People split 4. Not easy. You know, sometimes in Brahma Mudra, you finish in 2 hours. Good. The day you do 2 hours continuous chanting, that's a great thing. But sometimes you split. But Krishna says Sadatam. But it's Prabhupada's special mercy. He made it as 16. And Gaudiya Math, it was 64. Then Prabhupada made it 16. So it's special mercy of the Acharya. Now, is there any example from Prabhupada's life? Does anyone know any pastime to prove, to quote Krishna, Prabhupada is a Mahatma, or to quote that he was doing Satatam Kirtayandoma? Any example? Yes, Mataji, Sarvanamni Padma Devi Dasmataji.
Mataji, I don't know whether it quotes that he is Mahatma. I mean, he is chanting rounds, but yeah, there are 2 examples. One is when he was in Bombay at that time, like I mean, he had nothing and he wanted to go abroad to his spiritual master's instruction. So like he had nothing and he was so upset, and but he was sitting at the stair of the Mataji who was going to sponsor him, and she gave him 40 rupees. But at that time he was constantly, meditating, and he was chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and like even throughout Srila Prabhupada doesn't sleep. I mean, like he takes only 2 hours of nap, and like from 10 to 12, and the whole day he is busy in chanting, he is busy in writing Srimad Bhagavatam, he is busy in preaching. So this proves that he is Mahatma. And one more example, I don't know, like it proves that he is Mahatma or not. Like Srila Prabhupada, he went to his room one day, and before he went to his room, his disciple had cleaned his room, and they saw what all things are there around. And they knew, I mean, the disciple knew that what all things are there. And when he went inside and he was called and he came outside, And then the disciple sees that there is a kadamba flower garland in his neck. So they were surprised that a few minutes back, one disciple has cleaned his room. So how come Srila Prabhupada has a kadamba flower in his neck? And he was asked, Srila Prabhupada was asked, how did this happen? And Srila Prabhupada said, Srimati Radharani gave it to me. I mean, she gave me the garland. So like, I don't know whether this proves that he is Mahatma, but the previous two examples are there where he is chanting.
Yes. Yeah, yes, Mataji. That shows how great Srila Prabhupada is. And as Manashi Mataji says in the chat, yes, definitely, like when Prabhupada was awake and wrote the whole night, the scriptures, Bhagavatam and all, he was translating. Yes, he's a Mahatma, definitely, who can do all that. And Dinesh Prabhu says, yes, he have all qualities of a Mahatma, right? He was a completely surrendered soul. Sadatam Kirtan, as Mataji said, yes, he was chanting like 5 hours in front of Sumati Moraji's office because she didn't give a visa to America. No, and every time you can see in the olden videos and pictures, Prabhupada will be constantly chanting. Most of the time is constantly chanting, right? And once he went to Sharanpur on business tour, he came to know that his business place in Allahabad pharmacy caught fire. Yeah, it's nice how devotion. Yes, such a Prabhu. Yes. So that sloka says, Yasyahamana Grishyami Harishyeta Danam Sane Tadodaram Chitajan Desya Swachana Dukha Dukhidam. When Krishna shows special mercy, all material, especially money, everything. So when Prabhupada's business was failing, Prabhupada's like, good, I can concentrate more on devotion service. Or Prabhupada's like, Krishna forced me to take devotional service seriously. At age of 70, went to the West with determination to follow the spiritual master's instruction. Yes, not easy. It shows how great Mahatma Prabhupada is. Yes, nice. So Mahatmas are actually Devim Prakritim Ashridam. They are under the control of Yogamaya. Bhajanti Ananya Manaso. They worship Krishna with Ananya Manasa. Means pure devotional service. Jnatva Bhutati Mamveyam. They know Krishna is inconceivable and his truth. Satatam Kirtayam. Always chanting Krishna's glories and holy name. Yadam Dasya Dridhavrida with determination. Nitya Yukta Upasadi. They always do devotional service to Krishna. That's a Mahatma. As described in the second verse of this chapter. Not only is this devotional service easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. Susukam Kartumavayam. One does not need to undergo any severe penance or austerity. He can live this life in devotional service guided by an expert spiritual master in any position, either as a householder, grihastha, sannyasi or brahmachari, in any position anywhere in the world. He can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality God and thus become actually Mahatma, a great soul. Right? Anybody can become. That's what Prabhupada says. In 15 to 19 sloka is about Anya. Anya means other ways of devotional service. The 3 kinds of jnanis worship Krishna by cultivating knowledge. Okay, jnana yajna, 15, 16 and 17. 15 says about the 3 kinds of jnanis who worship Krishna. Jnana yajnena chapya yajanto mam upasate egatvena pritatvena bahuda vishwato mukam ekatvena pritatvena vishwado mukam. 3 kinds of people. 3 people. Others who engage in the sacrifice by cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. So 3 ways they worship Krishna. One is Egatvena. Egatvena means they worship Krishna in oneness. They think themselves as God. No, that is like Mayavadis. No? So Pratatvena. Pratatvena means they worship me in diversity as many forms as Devatas. So they are the Devi Devatas worshippers. So first one, Egatvena means Egatva. Like who gave the Egatva philosophy? Who was the one who gave the Egatva philosophy? I'm God, you are God. Shankaracharya. What is that called? What that philosophy was called as? What philosophy? Advaita philosophy. Good. So Advaita philosophy was given by Shankaracharya. Says, I'm God, you're God, we're all God. Egatvena. Egatvena means one. So this sloka, 15 sloka, says about 3 kinds of worshippers. Jnanis worshipping Krishna. One is Egatvena. They worship Krishna in oneness, thinking that I'm God, you're God. So they want what mukti? Put it in the chat. What type of mukti they want when they worship Ekatvena? They want to become one with the God. What mukti is called? It's called very nice. Sayuja mukti. They want to merge in the Brahma Jyoti, right? Very nice. Yes. So this is called Sayuja Bhakti. Okay, Sayuja. Good. So that's called Ekatvena. They want to become one with them. Prakratvena means they worship Krishna in diversity, like in Devi gods, Devatas. They think, oh, Krishna, the God, all these are God. There are 33 crores of demigods. They think all of them. And Vishwatomukha means universal form. They worship Krishna in the universal form. But the devotee doesn't want to see the universal form. Why? Why does anybody can answer? Why does a devotee doesn't want to see the universal form of Krishna?
Because the Lord said that he is best worshipped in the two-handed form, Mataji.
Okay, Krishna himself says that you should worship in the two-handed form, right? Priyadarshini Mataji, yes.
We do not get that closeness with Krishna.
Yes, the closest form or the eternal form of Krishna. Yes, Dinesh Prabhu.
Mataji want to perform the devotional service, loving devotional service to Lord directly.
Yes.
Eternally, he doesn't want liberation.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, same answer. Devotees are only interested in doing seva. Only seva.
Yeah. But what cannot develop from the universal form is the bhav, right? The different rasas. Can you go and hug the universal form? No. Yeah, the loving reciprocation. Yes, Sachinandan Prabhu. Yes, Deval Mataji. It's Krishna's all forms are spiritual. Okay. So this universal form is also spiritual, but it has a material touch. Why? Because Krishna comes in that material form in the material universe. This universal form is not in the spiritual world. It's only to show to the atheistic people and demons. It's not for devotees because it has Kala Rupa. The Vishwarupa also has a Kala Rupa part, the Virat Rupa. So there, devotee doesn't want to have that, cannot have a relationship in the sense, a loving relationship. They exchange Madhurya Ras, Sakya, Valsalya with universal form. But instead, the two-handed Krishna, eternal form in the Vrindavan form, because even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Aradhya Bhagavan Brajeshatanaya Taddama Vrindavani. You have to worship Krishna in the form of, in the Vrindavan form, the two-handed form, because that's the eternal form and the loving relation, the reciprocation can happen in that form. So in the 15th sloka says, they want to become the Lord Krishna as one. Prakritvena, they worship in diversity as the Devadas. And Vishwatomukha means they worship the universal form. Okay. And 16 to 19 says worshipping Krishna in the universal form. They are going to worship Krishna in a Vishwarupa form. So these are who are directly worshiping the Lord, personality of Goddess, Sri Krishna. They have been described as Mahatma, and the others worshippers, they cannot conceive the Lord directly. So they do indirect. They go through Devadas, they worship the Brahman, Mayavadis worship Brahman, right? And the universal form, the Virat. But they are indirectly going to Krishna. Therefore, they have been described here as Anni. Anni means other ways. So others, they worship the absolute truth in 3 different ways. So 3 different ways, as Mata says, the sun, planet, and all that. That is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan in the Shabdati. So Egatvena means the monist, they worship as one, as the self. Okay, and Vishwatomukam, that means the universal form, and Prakritva means the demigod worshippers. So these are the 3 different indirect worshippers. But is there anything wrong in it? Because Vaishnavana means the Shambhu, Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava, and Krishna says, Mad Bhaktya Puja Bhi Adhikam, you have to worship my devotees. So Lord Shiva is a devotee of Krishna. So what's wrong in worshipping the demigods? But why is it called the indirect method? Anni, other method.
Mataji, can I answer?
Yes.
No, Mataji Hare Krishna, it is because by worshipping demigods, they cannot deliver us. They can give us a limited benefit, whereas worshipping the Lord, you can just gain deliverance and the ultimate benefit, if you want to look at it like that, Mataji. So,
yeah, Mukti Pradadam Sarvesham Vishnu Revana Samshya. So moksha or liberation can be given only by Krishna and not the demigods. That's one reason. Another reason, Sri Devi Mataji.
Yeah, if we worship demigod, we will go to demigod planet and not to Krishna Loka.
Yeah. So what's the use of worshipping them? Shrine Punye Martiloga Vishandis. But we should not ignore them, or we should not avoid them, or in the sense we are watering the root of the tree, right? In that way. Yes, Priyadarshini Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. No, the demigods cannot grant any benedictions on their own. They have to get it, they have the Lord, and then grace it to the devotee.
Yeah, they can't
indirect.
sanction. See, if you go to a indirectly. So they go to a supervisor. The supervisor have to get the sanction from the boss, the proprietor, the founder, or somewhere like the senior to him. So the demigods can't bestow you any material benediction alone. They have to get the permission from Krishna. That's another reason. Yes, Dinesh Prabhu.
Mataji, it is a longer route.
Longer route, like somebody have met in this.
Because it is
elevator and steps. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
So yes, it's a longer process. And Klesho Adhikadarastesham. Krishna only says it's an. And the main reason is, as Mataji said, Yamdi Deva Yada Deva Pidriyamdi Pidri Vrita Bhutani Yadi Bhudejam Yadi Matya Jino. You worship demigods, you go to their planet, right? You can't go to Krishna's world. Yes, Neeraja Mataji.
And Mataji, to grant the wishes also, demigods has to take the permission of Krishna.
Yeah, that's what Mataji said. Priyadarshini Mataji said. Oh no, Dinesh Prabhu, yes, they can't do it. They have to get permission from Krishna. Okay, so Anya means others. So they have not been given so much importance. They have been also accepted because they have taken into the line. They are better than those who are just like animals, sleeping, eating, meditating, and mating. So definitely Mayavadis are better than atheists, no? At least they are worshipping the Brahman aspect of Krishna. At least next life they can become devotees. Mayavadis have become devotees, right? So they are better than the atheists. So Prabhupada says, and the demigod worshippers better than the Mayavadis, right? So universal form worshippers are better than demigod worshippers. At least they are worshipping Krishna in the universal form. So in that way, they are better. Okay, so demigod worshippers are discussed in Bhagavad Gita also in other different slokas. I'm not going much into it. And 2025 says the demigod worshippers as minimized. Before that, 16 sloka. Aham pratru aham yatnya swadaham aham aushatam mantro aham evajam aham agnir aham hutam. But it is I who am the ritual, I'm the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant, I'm the butter and the fire and the offering. So Krishna says everything belongs to him, or it's him. Aham. Pitaham asya jagato mahadata maha vedyam pavitram omkara riksama yajrevacha. Pitaham mata data, our father and grandfather, everything is Krishna. And the father of the universe, aham vijaprata pita, the mother, the support, the grandsire. I'm the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable om, and the rig and sama and yajur veda. Okay, so Krishna is called Prapitamaha. Why? Not just Pitamaha. Krishna is called Prapitamaha. Why? Why is it called Prapitamaha? Yes, Charu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, because he's father of Brahma. Brahma is Pitamaha, father of Pitamaha.
Father of Brahma. So Brahma is the secondary creator. Brahma created all of us. And then Brahma was created from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, right? So in that way, Krishna becomes our Prapitamaha. Okay. So Krishna is the Vedas, Yajur Sama. Veda, he's a fire, he's a sacrifice. Krishna is all pervading. 17 to 19 says that Krishna is the father of the universe, he's the mother, he's grandsire, maintainer, he's the object of knowledge, he's all the Vedas, he's also the goal and the sustainer, he's our abode and shelter, dear friend. He's a creation and destruction and maintenance, he's the resting place, he's the heat and the cause of rain. It says that a sun god getting scared on Krishna, on the bhaya, on fear of Krishna, he gives us the sunlight, or the rice, and everything, all the demigods are part and parcel of Krishna, right? The 20 to 25 sloka says about the demigod worshippers, Devada worshippers. I think we can stop with that. Traividyamam somapa puda papa yajñer ishtva swargatim prarthayante te punyamasa surendra logam asnadi divyandi videva bhoga. Those who study the Vedas and bring the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly plans, worship me indirectly, purified or simple. The demigod worshippers, it is said about they are placing so many competitors of the Supreme Lord. Avidipurva, they worship Krishna. Avidipurvakam. Avidipurvakam means what? Not in the prescribed form. Okay. Ketam bhuktva sargalogam vishalam chine punyamadhyalogam vishanti evam trayi dharmam anuprapanna gada gadam kama kama labhanti. We'll post the attendance link, okay, after some time. So the demigod worshippers are called as Avidipurvakam. It's illegal. Nobody can be competitor of the Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord is not. Asamurdhva. Asamurdhva means nobody is than the Lord, nobody will Mata Paradaram Naniyat. Okay, so next sloka says Chine Punyalogam Mishanti. After pious activities are exhausted, what happens? And like a visa is gone, they have to come down, they return to this planet. Why is going to heaven compared to a Ferris wheel? What is the analogy? The Ferris wheel. What happens when you go to Swarga? The Ferris wheel. I have
After
some
Punya is
issue.
over, we have to come back.
Yeah, so the Ferris wheel, what happens in a Ferris wheel?
Punar Charvita.
When we go to the top, even if we go to the top, we have to still come down in the Ferris wheel.
Yeah,
So
so you-
similarly, even if it is heavenly planets, higher planets, we have to still come down.
Yes. So in a Ferris wheel, you get in and then you go up, you come down, you go up and come down. Similarly, what happens in heavenly planets, you go to heavenly planet, you come down, go and come down. So Shine Punye Martilogam Vishanti. So what's the use of dodas? Again, Punarjanma will be there. Very important sloka is the next one. Ananyas chindayando mam yejane paripasade tesham nityabhiyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Yoga kshemam vahamaham. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Okay, so Krishna is going to protect a devotee. Yoga kshemam vahamyam. Any examples for yoga kshemam vahamyam? Put in the chat. Krishna taking care of his devotees, especially preserve what they have and give what they want. What are the sloka? Yes. Yoga Kshema. Yoga refers to devotees' approach towards Krishna. Kshema refers to Krishna's merciful protection. And Krishna helps the devotee to achieve Krishna consciousness by yoga, and when he becomes fully Krishna conscious, he protects him from falling down to a miserable condition. Draupadi, yes, definitely. Krishna gave, what is it called? Akshaya Patra, no? And then many rishis came and somehow Krishna helped them. Pandavas, definitely, every time, whenever the Pandavas were in problem, Krishna was always there and we do Kshema Vahamyam. Ambarish Maharaj, definitely, Sudarshan Chakra saved him. Dhruv Maharaj, yes, the Pandavas. A great example of Yoga Kshema Vahamyam. What was that? Prabhupada, yeah, yes. What about Sudama? Right? Sudama didn't have anything and then Krishna gave everything to Sudama. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. So for a devotee's life, Yoga Kshema Vahamyam means that Krishna will take special care or to give him Krishna consciousness, and when he gets Krishna consciousness, he see that he doesn't fall down. So there was Arjuna Acharya, he and also some Gita Pandey. He always used to chant this sloka, and his wife was getting so angry because they were like kind of poor, becoming poor, and the kids were starving. So always Gita Pandey used to say, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, Krishna will maintain. Krishna Ego Bahunam Yovidutadi Kaman. He maintains all the animals. Why don't he maintain us? Right? He maintains. But then she got so angry that her husband is not going for work but full time into devotional service. She took a black chalk. Two ways it is said. She took a black chalk and cut it in Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, made a dark line. Also, it is said she took a knife and cut that word. So next day, a blue and a black and a white boy, they came home with a lot of groceries and everything. She's like, who are you? Oh, no, your husband, friend. We are your husband friends. And she sent all these grocery items and so many things. She's like, I'll cook prasadam and give you. So please don't go. So one of the black boy had a black mark here because she had taken the black chalk and cut it. And then so Krishna had the mark. It was Krishna and Balram who came. And it's also said, when she said, please take prasadam, the boy, black boy had a cut in his tongue because she took the knife and cut the Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. It's Bhagavad Gita is not different from Krishna. It's different. Krishna was words, but she didn't have that much belief. But then he was a pure devotee and Krishna personally took care, like how he took care of Sudama. So Ananyas Chindayandamam. For that, what should we do? Always think of Krishna, pure devotees. Ejano Panipasade Tesham Nityabhiktanam Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. And we'll stop with the next sloka. It says, Yajanti avati purvakam ye api anya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvita te api ma evakam teya yajanti avidi purvakam. They are doing it avidi purvakam, means they're doing in a wrong way. That's called demigod worshippers. They are watering the root. They are watering the leaf. What happens when you water the leaf and the fruit? the tree is going to dry up because it's not getting the, you see, instead you putting the food into the stomach, you give food to the hand. What is the use? Can't take the nutrients, no? So they are not feeding the stomach. These are the two analogies you should know: watering the root of the tree and feeding the stomach. So avidhi purvakam, they are worshipping Krishna, but indirectly. Avidhi purvakam means this is not given in the Shastra. The right way of growing a plant is to water the root and not the leaves and branches. The right way of nourishing the body is to feed food to the stomach. So these are the examples, that is watering the root and also putting food to the stomach. Similarly, the right way of worshipping the Supreme Lord is to serve him directly and not the Devadas, which are his representatives in managing the affairs of this world in Lord's government. It is illegal to bribe the government's representative without following the rules of the government. Instead of going to the prime minister or the minister, you go to his PA and bribe him. That is wrong. So worshipping the Devadas is a wrong way of worshipping Krishna, avidhi purvakam, and thus they return to take birth in this material world. Because you go to you worship demigods, what happens? You go to their plans, which is also in the material world, right? But if you worship Garbhodaya Vishnu, where will we go? You worship Garbhodaya Vishnu, then where will you go? That's one of Krishna's
Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka.
Okay. Yes, Mataji.
It is still in the material world.
It's still in the material world. Yeah, it's in the material world only. You won't go to Vaikuntha. See the Goloka chart. You remember the Goloka chart? That big anda, it's like a universe inside that Garbhodaya Vishnu. From his navel, all the planetary system is given, right? So even if you worship Garbhodaya Vishnu, who's still in this material, he takes the material form position for creation. For creation purpose, Krishna comes in the material form. So it's called Hiranyagarbha worshippers. They worship his Garbhodaya Vishnu is also called Hiranyagarbha. Hiranya means gold and Garbha means abdomen. Somebody who had so much wealth in the abdomen, in the sense created all the universe. And so they go to material world itself. Like it will be in that material world. Yes, Mataji?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, like if we worship Vishnu, it's not that we are going to Vaikuntha, like any Vishnu, like Shirodaksha Vishnu and Garbhodaya Vishnu. Or
Garbhodaya Vishnu's material. It's all in material world, Mataji. Only the 400 form, the Vaikuntha Vishnu is with Lakshmi Narayan form, na?
That is Shirodaksha Vishnu, Mataji?
Shirodaksha Vishnu is as in a heart as Paramatma. These are the Purusha avatars. Okay, the Mahavishnu is the Karanadaksha Vishnu. Okay, so Kshiradesha Vishnu is in a heart as Paramatma. The yogis meditate on the Paramatma feature of the Lord. They can go up to the Vaikuntha, yes, but then if you worship Garbhodaya Vishnu, it's still in the material world. Yes, Deval Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, then the Vishnu at Shir Sagar, that is Kshirodaksha Vishnu, right?
Kshirodaksha Vishnu.
So
yes.
Lakshmi ji is at his feet that time, right?
She's doing, yes, Pada Sevana there, yes.
So that is also Kshirodaksha Vishnu only.
Yeah, that's Shirodaksha
worship
Vishnu,
the Lakshmi Narayan.
that he's as Paramatma in our heart, right? But if they are worshipping that form as Paramatma form in the heart, then the yogis, they may not reach the Vaikuntha planet. It depends on what stage they are in.
What about the Lakshmi Narayan Vishnu? That is the same as Shirodaksha Vishnu or Mahavishnu?
No, you can see in the Vaikuntha, they are actually in the sitting form. Shirodaksha Vishnu is actually lying on Ananta Shesh, no? He's the Paramatma feature of in our heart. It's the
Mataji,
these are the Purusha avatar. Yes,
Mataji, Lakshmi is Narayana, is it? The Vishnu form.
Vishnu form is Lakshmi Narayan form. Yes, Lakshmi Narayan form. Yeah, that's in Vaikuntha, right? So we have 34 slokas in this chapter. We'll stop at 24 so that we have 10 more slokas to do next week. Because of the Purushottam month celebration, we kept it at 8 o'clock. Okay, so everyone who have read the open book assessment, please see that next time onwards, you should have a nice introduction, body and conclusion. Many of you lost marks because of that. Okay, I don't want you to lose mark next time. Because there is no final exam for Bhakti Shastri. These are only the exams. Your open book, your closed book, your sloka, your attendance, then the sadhana chart, all that is very important. And the way you answer in the class, Some of them are really quiet in the class. I don't even see them sometimes. I don't hear them. But such devotees also might not get nice marks, because participation in the class is also important. Because we started late, I don't have a breakout room today. But I should know, like, see who all, today I know who all have participated in the class actively. Others are just silent in the class. So please don't be like that. Okay. Yeah, no title. That's why 1 mark was less, Prabhu. Okay, since there was no title. Why we are doing this is so that next time you remember that, oh, I didn't put the title. That's why Mataji increased 1 mark. Let me put the title. So what happens? It will come in the format. Next time. We have so many essays coming up in Nectar of Devotion and Nectar of Instruction. So when you write in this format, what happens? You remember. So that's why I'm just purposely doing it. 1 mark I'm decreasing, because there is no written introduction, body, and conclusion, so that you don't forget next time. If you will take it for granted, if I don't decrease the marks, you'll be like, next time you won't remember. But now you will try to reach to 9. You will try to go to that format, no? So that's why. So try to go to that format, try to have a nice subheadings and highlight the points. It will be nice to see the essay. Because what happens, the passing mark for Bhakti Shastri, the previous one batch has passed out. In that, 10-15 of them couldn't clear Bhakti Shastri just because they didn't have nice open book essays, or they didn't have attendance. Almost 10 of them didn't have proper attendance. So 60% of your pass marks is because of open book. 60%. 20% is only closed book. We get so tense now, closed book, I can't see and I have to type, and it's just short answers. That's just to understand whether you have understood the concept for the teachers. But open book, don't take it lightly. Just that's why some of you have written very short answers. Open book is 60% of your pass mark depends on your open book. Okay, so that's why I'm so strict. I'm like, that format should be there. And next time onwards, some other teacher might correct. So it should not that those teachers should not say that you didn't train your students to write the essay in the format, because that's a recognized format by the institute, Mayapur Institute and Institute of Higher Education. Okay, so please write the title and highlight some points instead of just writing. Make it into paragraph and highlight. The verse numbers can be in bracket, with inverted commas. If quoting from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, it has to be put CC. Chaitanya Charitamrita, you may not write the whole thing CC, or for Bhagavatam, it should be SB and BG for Bhagavad Gita. So the quote should be there, the sloka number if you want. Nice to quote the sloka, not fully, at least the one line. Okay. And that's how the essay should come up. And finally, you conclude. Give an introduction. Then in the body, you have all the content in it. So have subheadings for the body again. Have, instead of just paragraph, have a subheadings and then highlights the points, and then at last conclude it. And write it legibly, and also an essay format. Okay. Anything to add? Any other questions? Are we done? Please start studying the slokas. This time you have to do all the slokas and then upload in a video format. It will be 14 slokas from chapter 7 to 12, 14 slokas. So what you're supposed to do is, you have to record and send. So it will be a video, recording through video. Okay, so please study. And translation should be said in your own words. Last time it was like, for example, Sarva Dharma Paritijya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. And so they said, surrender to me. It's not surrender to me. It should be surrender to Krishna. See, when you say the translation, it need not, this is Bhagavad Gita said by Krishna to Arjuna, to us. So that time Krishna said, I surrender to me, think of me. But when you translate and say the sloka for exam or something, you should not say I, surrender to me. No, that will become Mayavadi concept. Should say, when you translate the sloka, you should say surrender to Krishna, think of Krishna, become his devotee, manmanabha madbhakto. So become, so you, that's how you were telling the sloka as if you're preaching to someone. Okay, so take care of that when you, yes, Mataji, you had a question. Sloka marks, didn't I share? Okay, I'll put it in the Excel sheet and upload. Okay. Yes, Mataji. I can't hear you. Can you unmute again? 1 second. Yes. No, I can't. Srideva Mataji, can you hear her?
No,
I can't hear.
Mataji. No, I can't hear.
Some
Can you
problem
hear
with-
me, Mataji?
Yes, yes. Yes, Mother.
Mother, yeah, I just wanted to know, like, if we worship Shirodaksha Vishnu, like, where will we go?
Yeah, Shirodaksha Vishnu is actually the Paramatma in our heart. So that's like a yogi meditating. So if they are reached Samadhi, definitely they'll go to the Vaikuntha planets. But in between, then they will be like unsuccessful yogis. Okay, the different stages are there now in yoga. They do Ashtanga
Right.
yoga, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. So if they reach Samadhi, definitely they'll go. It depends on what they think at the time of death.
Okay. And Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the Garbha ocean,
That's
right?
material. Yeah, Garbhodaksha ocean. And again, it's in the material world only. You might go to heavenly planets. Because it's in the
We'll go to
material.
heavenly planets.
Yeah. Heavenly in the
Okay,
sense, yeah. Brahma Loka, you can go.
Okay. Okay. Like, it's specific that they'll go to Brahmaloka?
Not specifically, it might. It's like they might go. Like, specifically, we can't say either Janarlok, Maharlok, or Tapalok. So any of the heaven.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. Thanks a lot.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, like, is it necessary to differentiate and pray, Mataji? Like, once we hear all these and we know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can just pray Him, no? Like, why should we differentiate like Shirodakasha, Vishnu and everything? Why that is all necessary, Mataji?
Yeah, that's what. So people won't have conviction like you have. No, see, you accepted, yes, Krishna is the Supreme and the form of Krishna you accepted, but others, they may not accept him directly, no? So that's why Krishna is giving you different options. Okay, you worship in this form. See, like for Hanuman, the Lord Ram is his worshipable deity, right? Prahlad worship Narasimhadev. But all are expansions of Krishna. So they're all first expansion of Krishna. But then when you worship Vishnu, that's for fire sacrifice, like the Brahmanas. You remember the Brahmanas? So they to Krishna, but they worship Vishnu, right? But then their wives, Yajnapatnis, they worship Krishna. So they reach Krishna's world. So it depends on whom your faith is in. Like sometimes what happens when we worship the Lord in different forms. So from childhood, no? So some form will be your mind. Change. So for them, Krishna gives different options. At least you worship them. At least you don't become a Mayavadi. And so that's a lot of options.
Yeah, so, but listening to all the classes and being in Krishna conscious since 2 or 3 years, our mind will not go anywhere, Mataji. Directly we'll focus on Krishna only, no, Mataji.
Yes, that's what we should do. That's what the aim is, no, of all this Shastri and deep shape and everything. Us to surrender to Krishna finally. Finally, that's what we are aiming at by studying Shastras, by constantly chanting the holy name, hearing lectures, to have a strong conviction that Krishna is everything. But still, people can't accept Krishna's authority, what to do. So
maybe some fear will be there that in case if we don't worship them, we may face any problem, or some fear may be there, like in their hearts, in some corner of the heart.
Yes. Yes, Shirodaksha Vishnu is in the form of is Paramatma in our heart. Yes, he will, even though it is there in the material world, but it is the 400 form, which is the Paramatma feature. They are worshipping the Paramatma feature of the Lord, right? And there is Lakshmi Devi. But you can see Karnadesha Vishnu in the Goloka chart, there is no Lakshmi Devi there. So they are worshipping, that is just material desires. And also it depends on what desire we have. If you can worship any form of Vishnu, but if the desire is material, definitely you go to material world. But if it's spiritual, it depends on the desire or the way you pray. Yes, Deval Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. So again, one more question of Satyanarayan. Then Satyanarayan would be what form? Again, Shirodaksha Vishnu? That would be that form.
Satyanarayan, I'm not sure about it. I don't know much about it. Yes, it definitely it is with Lakshmi Devi, no?
Yes. Yeah. So Satyanarayan is just the 400 Vishnu form.
the 400 form, but is it Lakshmi Devi with the Lakshmi Devi or
Lakshmi
the
Devi, they
400?
keep it separately, but in the frame, it's only Satyanarayan. It's only his. And then
Yeah,
there
and
is
they
Lakshmi
have
Devi.
Satyanarayan, Katha
aside.
and Puja and all that.
Yeah.
I need to
Okay.
check with that because I've not heard much about. I'm still
Okay.
searching for the Goloka chart. Where is it? Ah.
I have this frame of Vishnuji with Lakshmiji. So what would that be? 1 second. I just have to unblur my video. And what about monist and impersonalist? Any difference between them, or are they the same?
No, they're almost the same. Almost the same. They're again Ekatva. They're thinking that they are the same. Yes.
Mataji, at the feet of even Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, we see Lakshmi sitting there, no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lakshmi
see,
is there, but since it is in the material world, Krishna Lord have accepted the material form. So you can see here, this is the universe. So Karanakshay Vishnu is above that.
Yeah.
But then Garbhodakshay Vishnu is here, you can see. And Kshirodakshay Vishnu is also in the material platform here. Yes, Lakshmi Devi is there, but still it is in the material world. You can see here, it's in the material. Where did do you think Bhrigu Muni and Durvasa Muni went? Remember when Sudarshan Chakra went behind Durvasa Muni? Can he go to Vaikuntha? He can't go to the real Vaikuntha, spiritual world, because he's a yogi, right? They went to the material world, material place where Garbhodakshay Vishnu is there. Bhrigu Muni, when he went, because the yogis cannot go to the spiritual world. So you can see this is the material world, this covering. You can see the round one covered by earth, water, fire, air, ether, the Mahatattva. This is the material world. You can see the 14 planetary system. So Kshirodakshay Vishnu is here and the Garbhodakshay is there. But Karanakshay Vishnu is above that, and there's no Lakshmi Devi with him. These
But
are all the
Kshirodaka
Purusha
Sai
avatars
also-
of the Lord.
Sorry, Mataji. In Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, we don't
Kshirodakshai
see
is
Lakshmi,
here.
no, Mataji. You don't see Lakshmi there.
It's here,
Kshirodaka
it's
Sai
here in the
Vishnu.
no, there is Lakshmi. You see carefully, it's here. She's here. She's there.
She's there.
Here.
She's in both the places, Kshirodakshay also and Garbhodakshay also.
Yeah.
She's there.
Only
Yeah, yeah.
Karanakshay, she's not there. Yes, Dinesh Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, before coming to Krishna consciousness,
Yes.
it was all demigods, all gods used to be like of same potency and same opulences. But now the clouds are no more there. We know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But sometimes there is conflict. We are, since childhood, we are used to seeing so many gods and goddesses. Sometimes we don't know, we don't disrespect exactly, but still sometimes there is some confusion. Are we neglecting them, or if worshipping Krishna only while they are their own entity? So this kind of confusion, Mataji, or problem always exists. There conflict is there sometimes. How to do away with it?
They become more pleased when we are not neglecting them. You can worship Lord Ganesha and ask for taking away all the obstacles in your path of bhakti. No, that you can ask. Yes, he'll take away. He'll be Dande Pranama Samaye Raja. His drum of the Lord Ganesha is on the feet of Krishna. And Rudra Gita, if you see, Lord Shiva says about the opulence of Krishna. He becomes more happy when you worship Krishna, this thing, Supreme Lord. So the analogy. So initially, yes, it's a little difficult because some Matajis are taking Shivratri and then they do. It happens mostly Shivratri comes on the previous day of Ekadashi. So you fast on Shivratri, and how do you break? There is Ekadashi and then Dwadashi, how you break? So there's so many confusion happening. But it takes some time. That's why we are studying Shastras. That's why we're chanting to make that strong conviction to yes, initially we feel that, oh, are we neglecting? Am I doing the right thing, or what to do? But when we study all the Shastras and we understand that we don't want to go to heavenly plans, we want to go to spiritual world and serve the Lord, no more coming back. Then slowly, once you have the strong conviction and faith, then slowly the demigods will bless us so as to take shelter of Krishna. There was one Mataji who was a great Lord Shiva devotee, and then she said Lord Shiva took her to Krishna consciousness. In the sense, through his blessings she came. So that's true. When a demigod is very pleased with your service and they'll, so when a supervisor is very placed with an employer, he'll definitely recommend to the boss in the sense, because they're all part and parcel of the Lord, they'll recommend. That's why this ISKCON is sometimes not appreciated by everyone, no? Because they say, why you talk only about Krishna and nobody else, and sometimes they think like that. But then all the Shastras say Ekala Ishvara Krishna, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, and so many proofs from the Shastras, we know that Krishna is a supreme, so we surrender to him. And they won't have time for anything else.
Mataji, but this knowledge and conviction has come very late. We were groomed in a wrong manner, perhaps. We never knew the truth. One
Who
feels
have come
like
later?
that.
I didn't get you, Prabhu.
My point is, Mataji, this knowledge and conviction has come quite late in life.
That's okay. It's never late. It's never late because it's not the body which is aging. It's the soul actually, and soul doesn't age. So at least so many janmas we forgot, and this janma, at least by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, pure devotees and Vaishnavas, now we are here because we need so much Ajnada Sugritis to come to Krishna consciousness, Prabhu. It's not easy to come now. So because of some sinful reactions, we were suffering, but now because of some fortune, in the sense good fortune, Brahmande Brahmita Kona Bhagyavanji, Guru Krishna Kripai Pai Bhaktilada Beach. Now because of Prabhupada's costless mercy, we got it. So once we get it, we should not leave. Okay. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yeah, so Katvanga, yes, Katvanga, he took only one moment to surrender to Krishna consciousness. So it's never late. Prabhupada also says just need 1 minute to surrender to Krishna, because we should have that strong conviction. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. I think we can stop here.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam.